welcome to my channel. Lynn Kelly, author. I'm a children's author, and I also write slice of life pieces for grown-ups. Today's story is titled Parenting. It's a scream. Back in October 1997, all 4 of our kids still lived at home. It was a few days before Halloween, and I dragged my husband George with me to a play at the Montclair Plaza, leaving 16-year-old April in charge of her 2 younger sisters, Amy and Susie, ages 12 and 8. Our eldest, 17-year-old Mike, wasn't cut out for babysitting back then. I'll leave it at that. The play was entitled Everyman in the Mall, a modern spin on a morality play from the 15th century titled Everyman. The performance started in the evening after all the stores had closed up, and the audience followed the characters all through the Montclair Plaza, up and down elevators and escalators, and all around to view the various scenes. The theme was death, and how everyone has to face it eventually. The Grim Reaper character creeped me out. So did the spooky, eerie atmosphere. Let's just say I don't deal well with the horror genre and can't watch movies like Friday the 13th. About halfway through the play, as we were headed to the lower level, a security guard walked up and read my name tag. Then he asked, "Is there a George in the crowd?" "Yes, right here." I pointed at my husband. The guard spoke into his walkie-talkie. "Okay, I found them." He pulled us aside and told us to call home, that there was some kind of emergency. My stomach clenched. I was at a play about death, and now something terrible might have happened to one of my kids. I dialed our home number, but my chest tightened up and I couldn't talk. So I handed the phone to George. A moment dragged on in slow motion as my imagination conjured up horrible scenarios, too horrific to mention. I prayed silently throughout the full-blown panic attack. Finally, George told me, "They're all right. It's not an emergency." I listened as he told April she nearly gave her mother a heart attack by calling us. As it turned out, April started getting sick, and she was running a fever. Mike and his friend Brad dressed up as the killer from the movie Scream and were banging on the windows, scaring Amy and Susie. Next, the boys climbed onto the roof. Their stomping back and forth and pounding on the skylights set off Amy and Susie's hysterical screaming and our 2 dogs barking and howling at all the commotion. April tried again and again to settle everyone down, to no avail. She was afraid the neighbors might call the cops. So she resorted to calling us. But I guess my cell phone must have been turned off. So she got a hold of mall security instead. She stressed to them that it wasn't an emergency, but it was extremely important that she reach us. Apparently, security didn't listen to that part. Maybe the background noise sounded like bloody murder with the screaming and barking. They treated it as if it was a dire situation and needed our immediate attention. It was hard to follow the rest of the play after that, but that was okay because we were thankful our kids were all right. We grounded Mike for life, and that was letting him off easy. Thank you for tuning in and listening to Parenting. It's a scream. What do you say? Yay or nay? Oh my gosh. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button below and then hit the little bell icon to receive notifications when there are new videos on my channel. I will see you next time. Have a great day.